Hey guys, welcome to Project Metal Music's YouTube channel with your host El Young, and we are here with Cheap Thrill. So, guys, welcome.
How you doing?
Hey, thanks for having us.
Oh, my pleasure. So, guys, could you introduce yourself and what you do within the band?
Me? Oh. I'm Gary Com. I'm the singer.
Danny Trash, guitars, backing vocals.
Cool, cool. For those people who don't know who Cheap Thrill is, could you sort of like explain what the band does?
Yeah, we're not even sure.
This functional bunch of...
No, we just sleazy gutter blues rock and roll band based out of Erie, Pennsylvania.
Cool.
I don't think there's a Pennsylvania anywhere else.
There might be.
So, guys, let's dive into some questions. Let me get them. So, as kids, what were you listening to?
Ooh.
Vanilla Ice, Run DMC. I was born in '84. I have a very eclectic background in music. I watched Sesame Street and MTV. That was my babysitter.
Yeah, with me, it was anything from Johnny Cash, Marty Robbins, Tammy Wynette. My stepdad every Sunday had it on the radio or on the stereo. There was rock and roll in there. Parents just let me listen to whatever I liked.
Don't forget you're a fan of Low.
Who?
Barry Manilow.
Oh, yeah, that was my mom. That was me, mom.
So, who actually got you into sort of like listening to music? Was it a family member, or was it a family friend, or somebody was it somebody at school, or was it just like a journey of self-discovery through the music?
Music for me, like Gary had said, the radio was on Friday evening through Sunday evening.
Yep.
Just bouncing around between stations, putting records on tapes.
Before school.
Yeah, before school. Well, before school, I was watching the ticker on the
to see if we had
snow days or whatever, and MTV watching before I went to school even. Some family members were musically inclined. They'd have get-togethers every once in a while. I'd go hang out. My cousin Lee was actually the person who kind of really got me into guitar and gave me my first amp. I should say an upgrade. I just had a little crappy 15-watt practice amp, and he gave me PV Heritage, which was a boost up for me.
With me, it was mostly friends in school. Kiss was the big craze when I was going to school, so it was right there, heyday, and everybody had the nicknames. I want to be Gene. I want to be Paul. I'm Ace. You can't be Ace. You're too short. Little fights would break out. But yeah, that's where it started, kind of in school, and then new friends after school and cousins, and then plus what was around the house. It was just always there.
Cool. So, who actually inspired you to become a musician? Was it somebody from Kiss, or somebody from, say, Iron Maiden, or was it somebody else?
With me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I actually have. Again, my cousin Lee was a big part of getting into guitar. As far as like musician, famous musicians, I can't pinpoint one. I think a lot of the, the imagery, stage shows, stuff like that is what really got me into it.
Yeah, it would have to be Kiss for me. Just whatever we could see in the magazines, and the movie came out at that time. They were on Paul Lynde show back then, you know, and then you just go and you imitate it. You got a little light bright. Remember those where you could put the light little pegs in a hole? We didn't do none of the pictures. We had Kiss written in on ours. And then we would play music, and it had to be that. That's what started it. And put that little bug in there to go, I think you want to do this.
Lip sync and mimic in the mirror.
Yeah. Well, I think Keith Richards said it. He said, you don't choose rock and roll, it chooses you.
That's fair.
So pretty much that's what happened.
Cool. We have a question from Little Boo, one of our brilliant mods. She asks, what is your favourite venue to play at?
Ooh. Well, a couple of them are gone now.
I think my favorite venues are all gone that we played locally.
Yeah. Well, we got Gemini coming up, the Metal Massacre, which is cool. That stage and sound is awesome.
Yeah.
Instead of being on a rinky-dink little corner in a bar, you're on a stage where you can run around and finally be a full band, and not just stand there. And
there was Peabody's in Cleveland.
Peabody's was good.
Yeah, that was a decent sized stage. I don't think we've ever played any place that has had more than like 500 person capacity. Yeah, just really bigger bars, if you will.
Yeah,
Thanks for the question.
Yeah, cool. So, what were you in any sort of like bands prior to Cheap Thrill?
I had a lot of really bad bands, yeah. I mean, there were a lot of high school bands, and it was pretty much the same people, just, you know, trying to figure out what kind of music we were all into, dipping our toes into everything until I think we each kind of found where our niche was, and we all kind of, you know, separated and did our own things.
Yeah, for me, it was cover bands. I was in a couple cover bands before Cheap Thrill.
It's okay. We saved them.
We saved me. Yep.
Yeah, cool. So, what have you been up to, especially with Cheap Thrill? What's the band been up to?
We're working on our
Second EP.
We're
working on mixing that right now. Hopefully we can get that out by the end of the year. Yeah, well, let's shoot for the end of the year.
Yeah.
Other than that, a handful of shows through the summer and into fall, locally in the tri-state area.
Cool. Could you tell us a little bit about the EP that you're going to be if you can anyway? Could you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, it's tentatively called Locked Doors, and we have a title track for it, which is actually mixed and ready, I believe.
Yeah, there's a version out there that has been streamed, I believe. Yeah, what do we have on this one? 6 songs?
Yeah, a little more.
Well, I think 6 that are ready to mix or in the process of being mixed.
Yep. Might be a little heavier and a little sleazier as it happens. But yeah, it's in the works.
Yeah, cool. So, you've got like the lead single ready to go. Have you got any other plans on releasing any more singles from the EP?
Right now, looking at a couple different distribution companies, because we're kind of dinosaurs in this area. We're not very technically savvy. So yeah, we're still working on getting stuff on Spotify, Apple Music, etc. Yeah. But there's a couple different distributors that we've been looking at. So again, soon, hopefully we might release the EP single by single or put it all out at the same time.
Cool. So, You mentioned you've played a couple of venues, and you've got a couple of gigs coming up. Is there any more sort of like plans on doing a sort of like a East Coast tour or like a national tour?
Not a national tour. I mean, a little mini East Coast tour wouldn't be out of the question. Right now, the focus has just been on kind of writing, working on new material, doing local gigs, but we, don't know what the future holds.
Cool, cool. Uh, you mentioned that you've got the EP is pretty much ready to either get mixed or like being ready to be mixed. But have you been sort of like writing any new material?
Oh, we're always writing new material.
We just added like 2 new ones to the probably going to be out on that EP. They're actually in the set list and we're playing them out now. So yeah, and they're being received pretty well.
Yeah, just kind of testing them out, tightening them up, making little changes, doing a little bit of, I guess, live feedback,
tweaking them here and there.
Yeah, that's usually the case when where bands like write a new song, they sort of like test them out live when they actually do it when they're actually playing live in a venue, test them out on the crowds there, yes or no type of thing. Let's do like little tweaks here and there.
Right, and if we mess up or anything, it's a song nobody's ever heard, so we can get away with it.
Yeah, it's ours. Yeah. Damn it. Yeah, playing them out live just makes them tighter. You can go in a room and sit there all day long and it'll still sound the same. But then when you're forced to, or you're not even forced because you're just interacting with the crowd more instead of thinking about the song, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll just do it that way.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris. Chris Avila, what's up, Cuban? My crazy Cuban.
Yeah, thanks to Chris for setting this interview up. It's been thank you for that.
Yep. Yeah, thanks, Chris.
Yeah. So, is there any sort of like plans on doing any videos for the songs on the EP?
Yeah,
we've kicked around a bunch of ideas for a couple of them, and we just got to nail it down.
We're really indecisive.
Dysfunctional.
Dysfunctionally indecisive.
That's better.
Yeah. So, where can people find you on social media?
Facebook.
Facebook. There's a Reverb Nation page. If anybody still goes on that.
We have stuff out on YouTube.
Again, we are dinosaurs in the aspect of this and doing everything on our own now. Working on putting together a website, refreshing the Facebook, making things more digitally accessible.
Cool. So this is probably going to be my sort of like last question, unless anybody in the chat there who has got any questions for Gary and Danny, please ask away. So my last question is, any advice for people who want to become a musician?
Don't do it.
Just do it. Just find some friends, even if you're like just picking up the guitar, bass, or drum.
If you're having fun,
somebody.
If you're having fun with it, just do it. Play at a friend's party, play in backyard, play in your basement, annoy the shit out of your parents.
That's key.
Just, have fun with it.
If you're annoying your parents, you're doing it right.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. So, any sort of like final words before we start wrapping things up?
Just thanks to everybody that supported us and bought the T-shirts, bought the CDs that we have. booked us for gigs along with them. And
Yeah, I got nothing to add to that.
yeah, no, I did something right for once.
Yeah.
I am just
Oh, yeah. One final, just thought of another final question before we start wrapping things up. Um, when's your next couple of gigs? When's the next couple of gigs?
Conveniently, it's written on the whiteboard right
in front of
behind.
us. We got July 26th.
Metal Massacre, which is a local thing that incorporates the tri-state area. A
Big
bunch
weekend party.
of punk bands, rock bands, metal bands.
Every band.
Yeah, I think there's 28 or 30 bands on the bill for the weekend.
Yep. Then we got September 7th at the Rathskeller here in Erie.
Actually, the next 3 shows are at the Rathskeller here in Erie. September 7th, October 31st, Halloween, and the day after Halloween.
November 9th, we're out at the Wagon Wheel in Niagara Falls.
And that wraps up this year.
And November 1st, we're at the Rathskeller with Eden on Fire.
Yeah, I already mentioned that one.
Well, I just wanted to get that one out too.
Wow.
I'm in this band too, damn it.
Fucking singers.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
We've known each other for way too long.
15 years.
Yeah, we started the band in 2009. 2009.
7, I got it in that diary.
I think you're full of shit.
It's 2007. Fuck you, guitar player.
Everything says copyright 2009, so I'm rolling with 2009.
That's probably what Sammy got in. Okay, yeah, what do you got next?
Guys, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure. So, guys, if you haven't checked out Chief Thrill, please do. I have put the link in the description to their Facebook page, so please go check them out. They are brilliant. So, again,
drop us some feedback, negative, positive, doesn't matter.
Say hi, except not to Danny. Nobody talks to Danny.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming on.
All right, thank you, Al. Have a good one.
Thank you.
You too.